Hello and welcome. My name is Jason Clemens, and what I'd like to do today is just talk with you about 3 things that if you use them right now, today, will help you lose a lot of weight over the next 7 days. And in fact, I have seen people who have used these things lose as much as 9 pounds. 9 pounds in just 7 days, okay, just with these 3 things. So they're very, very powerful, and I know that if you apply them today, or at least begin to apply them today, you're going to lose a lot of weight very quickly. Alright, so first, a little background. Just 3 years ago, I was about 30 pounds overweight. Alright, I need to lose 30 pounds, and I'm not sure how much you need to lose. Maybe you need to lose more than that, maybe less. But pretty much everyone has the same story. Everyone searches through a lot of information. I know I was the same way. I looked through a lot of information, a lot of different websites, and I even read books and things like that. But the bottom line is I found a lot of these experts, or at least people who called themselves experts, really, basically they had a lot of conflicting opinions. Okay, so I didn't know where to start. I really felt overwhelmed. I guess I felt that weight loss was this very difficult thing where I might lose a few pounds, but then I would gain it right back. Okay, and perhaps you feel the same way. Well, I can tell you that it's not true, okay, provided that you have the right information. Weight loss can actually be very, very easy. That's right. I said easy if you know exactly what to do, okay? So to make a long story short, I found what to do, and a lot of that was very basic, and I did use a few secrets. There were some other little tactics and things like that, excuse me, that I mixed in with it. But the bottom line is, when I applied the right information, I lost 30 pounds in just 30 days. So what I would like to share with you today are 3 of the primary things that I did to lose such amazing weight in just 30 days. Okay, and if you apply them over the next week, your weight loss is going to be phenomenal. Alright, so the number one thing you can do is to strictly limit the refined sugar in your diet. So what is refined sugar? Well, refined sugar is basically a man-made or a processed sugar. Okay, so if you scoop white sugar, if you buy white sugar and you put it in your coffee, you're getting refined sugar. Alright, in your soft drinks, in your fruit juices, even in your bread and your cereals and things like that, if you flip those boxes over, what you're going to find is something called high fructose corn syrup or some other variation. Well, the manufacturers of these items, they put that sugar in there on purpose because they know that if you eat it, it tastes good. And if it tastes good, well, what's going to happen? You're going to buy more. Okay, so they try to trick you. Well, you don't want to fall for it. Okay, so for the next 7 days, here's what I want you to do. Just try it for 7 days and watch what happens. So if you're putting sugar in your coffee, stop doing it. Stop drinking soft drinks or even fruit juices that you buy at the store. All those are really loaded with sugar that you don't want. Okay? Now, the next time you go to the store, check your labels. You can even go to the cupboards right now and check the labels on the back of the items. And if it contains high fructose corn syrup, just cut it out of your diet. Okay, now this might be a little challenging for some people, but look, if you want to lose weight very quickly, just try it. Alright, and watch what happens. It's really quite astounding, and you may be wondering, well, why is refined sugar so bad for you? Well, it's actually found that it's one of the greatest fat-producing substances on the planet, and what happens when you put it into your body is your body stores it in your problem areas. Okay, so if you have problem area fat around your stomach or your tummy area, if you have it under your arms, or even your butt or your hips, as many ladies tend to accumulate problem fat. Okay, well, the primary reason for this is refined sugar. So if you cut it out, you're really going to notice some great results. Alright, so the number 2 thing you can do is this concept called carbohydrate timing. So what you probably heard through a lot of diets, a lot of the most popular diets, that carbohydrates are a bad thing, you don't want them. Well, that's actually completely false. Your body absolutely needs carbohydrates to function. In fact, you can do a lot of damage if you're not getting them. Okay? The only challenge is you want to consume them at the correct times. So what are the correct times? Well, here's the way you should do it. Okay? So you probably heard that you should be eating 6 small meals a day. Okay? So start eating 6 small meals a day. The reason why is because it's optimal for your metabolic efficiency. If you're grazing throughout the day, your body burns through more calories. Okay, and if you can't eat 6, eat 5. But when it comes to carbohydrates, if you split your day up like this with 5 to 6 small meals, okay, for those first 3 meals, you can consume your carbohydrates. All right, you can consume your bread and your fruit and things like that. For the last 2 to 3 meals, depending on whether you eat 5 or 6 meals a day, eliminate those starchy carbohydrates. All right, so eliminate those. Now the carbohydrates you can consume in these PM hours are any vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables. All right, and you'll be just fine. Now if you can consume your green leafy vegetables and then your meats and things like that in the PM hours instead of those starchy carbohydrates, watch what happens. This is an old bodybuilder trick, and it works phenomenal. It's the reason why a lot of these top fitness models and bodybuilders, they don't have a lot of fat. Incredibly, incredibly powerful. And if you do this, watch what happens over the next 7 days. Just give it 7 days and watch what happens. Alright, so number 3. The number 3 thing you can do, and this is something that you might not have ever heard anywhere, so really it's quite powerful because I know a lot of people aren't talking about it, and it's very potent. And it's this concept of taking advantage of the number 1 fat burning hour of your day. Alright, there's 1 hour in your day that if you use it properly can greatly increase your amount and rate of fat loss and the rate and amount of weight that you lose is the bottom line. Alright, so this 1 hour, when is this 1 hour? Well, it's an hour right after you wake up in the morning. So let's think about this for a second. You've just slept the whole night. What happens when you sleep? Well, your body goes through the food that you've eaten the prior day. Alright? So, you're operating on a very low food supply, low energy supply in the morning when you wake up. Well, what do most people do? Most people go and they drink their coffee, or they go and they get something to eat. Okay? And then they might exercise. Well, the only problem with this is that the only calories you're going to burn off are those calories you just ate. Now, if you do it the other way, if you wake up right away in the morning and then you exercise, well, what do you think happens? Well, your body begins to tap into those fat stores you have in your tummy and the other fat stores on your body, and it really helps you eliminate the fat very quickly. So, here's what your day should look like. Wake up in the morning, have an 8-ounce glass of water to flush your system. Water is very important for many other reasons, which I won't get into here. But have that water and then go exercise, okay? And then eat, all right? This is very powerful. If you do this, if you exercise like this for 5 days, okay, over the next week, watch what happens. Crazy, crazy results, all right? So there's 3 things. If you can put them all together over the next 7 days, well, guess what? You can lose a lot of weight. They're very easy to apply. You do have to put some effort into it, but if you use them, you're going to lose a lot of weight. Alright? So, that's all I have today. Now, at the bottom, there's a link here. If you'd like to know what else I did, my complete formula for losing 30 pounds in just 30 days, there's a link at the bottom of this page. It'll take you to that formula. It's on the home page at naturalexplosiveweightloss.com. And really, this formula has been getting really great attention from a lot of people because it works phenomenal. It's exactly what I did, but it's not for everybody. So use these 3 things that I showed you today, and then if you'd like to check out the formula too, go ahead. I'll give you 8 weeks to check it out for free. Alright, so that's all I have today. It's been great speaking with you, and I wish